Her father pushed the envelope across the table like it was nothing, like it was a receipt or a bill. We think it's best for everyone, he said calmly. My wife Lena blinked in confusion. She looked at the envelope, then at her father. What is this? She asked. No one answering right away. The room suddenly felt colder. I was sitting across from them, hand folded on the table. I already knew what was inside, but Lena did not. My name is Ethan Shah. I have been married to Lena for 3 years. 3 good years, quiet years. Lena always believed I was simple guy, a small tea job, a cheap car, the kind of man who buy the same $5 coffee every morning and never talk about money. And honestly, I never tried to correct that idea. Across the table sat her parents, polished, confident, and very sure of themselves. The kind of people who believe they can solve any problem with money. Finally, Lena picked up the envelopes. She opened it slowly. Inside was a check. Her eyes widened when she saw for a number. 5 lakh US thousand dollar. Her father leaned back in his chair like he had just sold a business deal. Yes, he said simply, $500,000. Lena looked between us completely lost. For what? Her mother spoke this time, her voice soft but sharp. For you to walk away, she said, looking directly at me. I did not even touch the check. I simply slid the envelope back across the table. Her father's expression hardened. Look, he said, sighing. People like you do not come from much. I stayed quiet because I wanted to see their real face. No mask, no polite lies. And tonight they were finally showing them. For a moment, no one spoke. The envelope was sitting in the middle of the table. Then I slowly reached into my coat pocket. Lena watched me, confused. Her parents looked annoyed, like they were waiting for me to finally accept their offer. Instead, I pulled out a small black business card. I placed it on the table and slid it towards Lena's father. Before you make deal like this, I said calmly, you should probably you know who you are dealing with. He picked up the card. At first, his face showed nothing. Then his eyes focused on the logo and something changed. A tiny twitch in his expression, the confidence in his posture faded just a little. He looked back at me. What is this supposed to mean? He asked. It means, I said quietly, I have owned 49% of that company since before you even made director. The room went completely silent. Lena's father started at me like I had just spoken another language. That's not funny, he said sharply. You are lying. You want proof? I replied calmly. I can recite the articles of incorporation if you had like. His mouth opened slightly, but no words came out. Next to him, Lena Mothers gave a small nervous laugh. Oh, please, she said. This has to be some kind of joke. But her laugh quickly faded when no one else joined her. Lena slowly picked up the business card from the table. She turned it over in her hands, studying it carefully. Her eyes moved from the logo to the name and then to me. Ethan, she whispered. I meant Grace. I never told you, I said softly, because I did not want our life to be about money. I glanced around the table. I wanted one place where people treat me like a normal person. No leverage, no business deal. No one spoke. Finally, Lena's father pushed his chair back angrily. You humiliated us, he said. I shook my head. No, I really calmly. You did that all by yourself. I stood up and looked at Lena. Ready to go? She nodded slowly. We walked out together, and Lena did not say a single word until we were halfway home. A week later, there was a board meeting. I showed up wearing the same gray sweater Lena's father had mocked the night of that dinner. The same cheap coffee in my hand. Nothing about me looked different. The boardroom was already full when I walked in. Lena's father sat at the head of the table, confident again, like that dinner incident had been a strange dream. Everyone agreed to forget. A few people glanced at me as I quietly took a seat at the far end of the table. I did not say anything. The meeting started. Numbers, reports, projection. Then Lena's father cleared his throat and stood up. I like the board to approve a new execution, he announced, sliding a folder across the table. We move quickly. We buy the company before competitors even react. Some of the board members nodded. It looked like the decision was already made. Then I spoke. We told it. Just one word. The entire room was silent. Every head slowly turned toward me. I calmly placed my hand on the folder. That accusation was not authorized, I said evenly, and it would not be happening. Lena's father started at me, stunned. By the end of the meeting, the changes were official. The team he had fired for budget reason was rehired, and Lena's father, he was not fired. Technically, he was still a part of the company, but his new title was Senior Advisor Consultant, still paid, still present, but no longer in the room when real decisions were made. That night, Lena and I stood on the rooftop where we used to sit years ago when we were broke and dreaming about a future bigger than instant noodles. She pulled something from her coat pocket envelope. Still sealed. I never opened it, she said quietly. I looked at it for a moment, then tore it in half. Not for drama, just because it never mattered. I looked out at the city lights. I did not need to shout to arrive, I said softly. I just waited until the silence was mine to break.